course, we are streaming live on Facebook. Please drop your comments and your questions, and we will take them. So we had a question on Facebook. And just before you ask your question, now you asked before the break, let me just take this. So someone is asking that, what is the best approach to take if your failure to meet a deadline is caused by your superior? What should you do? What approach should you take?
Well, that is a sensitive one because it depends on, when it comes to bosses, you need to be very careful.
Okay.
Very, very careful because you would need them at some point. And some mistakes some of us make is that we have preference for some of our bosses and we don't care about the others. So your boss is your boss.
Of course.
You understand? So,
regardless.
So if they say, look, do this, and first of all, if you can't, you first need to appeal to the other person that you will, but it might delay a bit. Okay. Not that I'm not going to do it. You understand? And if they find out why you say you're not going to do it because another boss said, probably the other boss is a junior boss.
Well, yes.
So the one, but because it's your immediate boss, you feel obliged to
that
particular instruction. No. So when you need this other boss, maybe at the top level to speak for you, then the person will remember. And we victimize a lot in this part of the world, and they will wait for you. So you just need to try to explain things. Like I said, communication is key. Communication is key. If you are not going to, look, I will do it, but it might take time. I will do it because of this present task ahead. And this task needs to go now, but immediately I'm done. And some of us, our manner and our manner of approach to
matters a lot.
Matters a lot. Some of us don't have good character. The way we say things, the way we act sometimes, it gives us outs.
Outs, okay.
When on a lot of occasions. So we need to learn to communicate well. And the reason why most times it's good to work in a corporate environment is that, look, no matter who you are dealing with, once you know that this person is ahead of you, is your boss, you need to learn to respect such person. You need to learn to talk with courtesy each and every time you will need to deal with someone, because these things teach you. It's not written anywhere that you should respect. In fact, most corporate organizations, you call yourself your name, Shegun, Tunde. Do you understand? Do you understand? Back then in my office, the MD, we all call him KF. Do you understand? That's a corporate thing. But there are some places that you have to add brother or Mr. Do you get?
Yeah.
So, and there are some of them, even in that kind of setting, that you are afraid to call them their name.
The names.
Do you understand?
I get.
Maybe your MD is a young guy, probably like 50, and you call him his name. Then you now have immediate boss who's like 60-something. How do you call?
How?
So I've been in such situation. So there was this particular man back then. So, it was so that I couldn't stand to call him his name, but it was like a line manager, and everybody, the other bosses, would just go, "You come here," all this kind of thing. I looked at them like, look, and these are young managers. So the thing is, you need to be careful. You need to learn how to relate with these people as well. And it's not taught anywhere. You need to learn it. All right? So it depends on you. It depends on your character and the way you divulge something. It doesn't, you can't split yourself into. You cannot do two things at the same time. But you need to communicate to this person that, look, this is what is at stake. This is what is at stake. So this is more important. I think I need to take this. I need to but I will do yours. Please forgive me, you know. But some people just say, no, I can't do it. This one, you know, by the time you put up with that kind of character, the person sees you as, okay, so I'm giving you a task and you're telling me.
Yes.
Do you understand?
So basically, it's just manner of approach
and
character.
Okay, because I think this already answered the questions of mixed deadlines, because it still has to do with dealing with your bosses. Here, you already answered.
Bosses,
exactly. So you just know how to approach them and then set your priorities, right? So in the end, it has to do with priorities. You know which one goes first, regardless of the hierarchy.
Yes.
If the task given you by the lesser boss is more important than the one given to you by the boss's boss. From what you've said, it's better to communicate effectively. And then get the other one done first, right?
Yes, of course.
There are even instances you can even, when you know that the line manager probably task is more important. You can do this and even plead with the line manager to help you talk to
that also.
the other manager, so that, you know, that, oh, this is what's happening, you know, we need to do this and stuff like that. So let it happen at the top, not you.
Okay, so quickly before I want us to move to CSR, that's customer service relation, how you know, or more like
how you manage.
How you manage your customers, especially when you can meet deadlines as an entrepreneur. I know that you have a lot of experience when it comes to that. But quickly, on a personal experience, personal note, what case, you know, have you found yourself in such a way that you had a deadline and you couldn't meet up, and then your person didn't want to hear that, okay, you just couldn't meet up? How did you handle it? Personally, like you now, how did you handle it?
Okay. First of all, in my business, I try as much as possible to avoid that.
Okay.
I try as much as possible. And like I tell people, if you call me in the middle of the night, I'll come and deliver.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like that. And, but the only issue is that once the goods, the services can be delivered by I can do it myself, or I can deliver the product myself and stuff like that. But if I have to depend on someone else, that's where the issue comes in. And see, for me, I try to come up as plain as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, this time we're setting would not be. And I try to start, and it's not that I would just tell you off. Yeah. I help you prefer other solutions.
Okay.
You understand? So I stand by you throughout. Like, I was supposed to do a job for someone. And normally, I think she has this way of last-minute thing. Of calling, oh, I need this thing. You know, you always help me out. I know. But this time, I'm not around.
Wow.
So what happens? So I had to stand in, help the client get someone else that will go and deliver. And I had to make the person understand that, look, I'm not the one doing this. So in case you have any issue and stuff like that, it's not me. So please, you need to deal with this person. Do you understand? So not that you just leave them. If you leave them, the next time they won't come back.
They won't come, yes.
And God help you. They now find the other person, service delivery or product better than what you were giving.
You lost that person, you've lost that customer for life.
So, you understand? So you try to help out. Try to show that you care. Even if you're not doing the particular task. Going to carry out yourself. Show that you care. Show that you can, if you were there, you would have done it. People need to see that.
Sincerity, build that trust.
Yeah, people need to see that. Not, hello, I cannot make it down, and then you cut the phone and that's it. So people need to see that. I've seen people do it to me. And, let me say something.
I know, it's like I can read your video, but I don't want to.
So I get so angry. I will not, and I ask some people sometimes, is this your business? And they say, no. When I discover that they are not the owner of the business, okay, no problem. There's no issue. Because I believe as the owner of the business,
yes.
you will not be, we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes some people, that's the case really. They don't know. At the end of the month, they get salary, so they really don't know how far. But the owner of the business would go extra mile to ensure that I get this done. And if you have, if you feel that you are part of these, that you have something to gain from this, say you are the boss, maybe you're a partner, you're a boss in this particular place, and when this thing goes right, you know, your account feels it as well, you know, that kind of thing. You go extra mile to ensure that you get this thing done. You understand?
Yeah.
But some subordinates, some Genevas, they don't care. Close.
You know, I think that I didn't answer most of the questions I wanted to ask on that, the CSR and meeting deadlines.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all about how, when you can meet deadlines, how you relate with your customer, how you make them feel comfortable that, okay, the next deadline you're giving, you're going to meet up. You know, I don't just put up your phone and say, you know, I've seen there's a case that is I saw on the internet, I saw online. Okay. I think it was over the weekend, and this particular lady, a wedding gown. I think it's just a few days to her wedding now, and she hasn't gotten a wedding gown. And the lady is saying, go to any length. There's nothing you can do. Then take it to social media, talk about it. You know. And she's saying, manage the one I've given you. Like, this is not what I want. This is not what I told you I wanted. Do something about it, or refund. Like, I'm not going to refund. Manage, this one is also beautiful. Like, she's...
Exactly. So I was going to, sorry to interrupt, I was going to come to the part where I ask, at what point do you make refunds? That's one. At what point do you refer? Because we were talking about managing relationships during the course of our conversation. So at what point do you make referrals? At what point do you make refunds? Because as we said, it has to do with building trust. If you know you can handle it, just see how to give it out. But in the aspect of refund, what if you already used the fund giving you? Yes. You know? How do you manage it?
Maybe that's even the case.
Well, it depends on what's the task that you're supposed to carry out. Because if you're supposed to get a product, if it has to do with products, then service. And you've gotten the product part. Yeah, so it's remaining to just carry out the service. And you've been paid. All right. It's easy to say, look, I bought the material. I'll send them over to you. Then you could look for someone else to do the job. All right. But if you know, it depends on the stage as well. Because if I give you money now, then you now tell me you cannot do it, then obviously please send the money back. Of course. You understand? But if you send me money and to order for something I've ordered, then they now say you should send the money back. If they are sending me the money back, of course it won't be complete. So I'm sending money back. So I'm not supposed to, and I'll let you know that, look, this will be deducted, and so amount will be deducted because of, so not like I've used your money or anything, but this is what it is. So I think it also boils down to communication and letting the person come in our plane. And people want to see, people want to trust you. Yeah. Look, in one thing we fail to understand is that it's not how well you can do something. It's not how good you are. Yeah. It's your character. It's the trust that people have in you that brings you the contract that you have, or they bring you the job that you have.
Okay.
Talent is not enough. Right? Talent is not enough. Good character
sustains it.
Yeah. Because there's times that you see people, they're very good at what they do. All right? One, they have trust issues. Yeah? You cannot entrust them with anything. And some of them, you cannot give them a job and close your eyes and say, yeah, that's it. No need to mess up. So, you know, we need to learn that and imbibe that as part of the things we need to take home. So that when they give us tasks and stuff like that, we know that, look, it's not the fact that I can do it that's giving me this thing. It's the relationship.
The relationship.
and try as much as possible not to break or not to make the other person feel that I made a mistake by trusting this guy. Okay. Right. So I think that's the whole essence of business.
People have difficult times trusting people. Yes. And another thing I feel is when I trust you, when I trust to do business with you, and you pre-inform me that you can't meet up the deadline, how do I trust the person you're referring me to?
And that's why a lot of people don't want to go.
Referrals.
Yes. They still want you to do the job. You got it. Okay, you are not going to make it up on Thursday. It's till next week. Okay, let me see. I will rant, but I will still give you the job. Do you understand? That's trust. Not because I know you, I trust you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They will not still go. Believe me. But if you're someone they can do without, before you even say, you can't do it, don't worry, I'll look for someone else. Do you understand? Yes. So it's this trust, and these things go a long way in building a business and a brand. Okay. So that's why over the years you see a particular person taking a particular job. It's not like we don't have others.
Person knows his onions. Yes. Okay, let's take this comment from Facebook. Francis from Coste in Lagos, and he's saying that how can you handle different tasks that have different deadlines? And I think you've addressed that. That's when it comes to prioritizing, right? Or you have more to say on it?
Like I said, there are tools to use for all these things.
What are those tools? Let's talk about that.
Well, project management.
Having a to-do list.
Yeah, doing a to-do list. And even on your phones, there are stuff reminders. There are this project management tool.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if you check your system, Microsoft Word. Yeah. I think they have a project management tool as well. So it's there. You see date, task, due date. Then at the last column you tick.
Okay.
Do you understand? So because like I said, you put all your cards on the table and know which ones needs to come first, which one prioritize. Do you understand? So if you can do that, then you get these things. You don't need to get on your phone, type everything, get your to-do list, put everything down. Then you start to tick.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, we have another question on Facebook from Blessing. She's saying, how do you ask your boss to extend your deadline without seeming or looking inefficient?
Well, I said something the last time that it depends on who is giving the
task.
The task.
Yes.
Your boss also may have a deadline.
True.
So if the MD gives your boss a deadline and your boss is giving you a deadline, then you now go back to your boss and say, probably the MD has given your boss 5 days.
Yeah, you mentioned yes.
Then your boss gives you 3 days. Then you now go back to your boss and say you need 6 days. Do you understand? So at that point in time, in fact, you must complete that job in 1 day.
Of course.
Because plus your boss, both of you will need to sit down and try to do. So you need to learn how to relate with people, communicate with people. There are some people who feel it's only when I need to talk to you, even in the workplace. Our paths don't cross. I don't need to say anything to her. I don't need to say anything to him. There's any job that brings us together. You should learn to relate
with
people because you never can tell. If it's somebody you talk to often, if it's somebody you relate with often, it's easy for you to say, look, boss, this is what's going on. I cannot meet this deadline because of things will always happen. Unforeseen circumstances. So things will always crop up. So what do we do? So if you can go back to, if it's somebody you relate to, but if it's somebody you don't have a good relationship with, it might be a bit hard to say this is what's on ground. But see, it's official. Yeah? So you have to say it.
Yes.
And it's better you send a mail sometimes.
Okay.
But in some organizations, some people feel it's rude if you've not discussed it before you send the mail. Yeah, some people feel it's rude. But to save your head, there's some hostile environment or hostile work environment that at the end of the day, they will not take your verbal communication for it. But if you send a mail, then they'll prefer.
It's more effective
so
then.
if you do a mail like explaining why and why this cannot be, then.
And I think basically you should just know your work environment and know who to talk to, how to talk to the person. Yes, it's key. Very important.
Okay, now let's get to this part.
Okay.
You cannot meet deadlines without stress.
Of course.
Deadline, stress.
And stress management.
Yeah, so how do you manage deadline and stress?
Well, I think I've spoken about it already.
Yes, about
I know
not
you
taking more than you can do.
Yes, but you did not talk extensively on
about it.
Because the stress part, it's because, one, you've not been able to plan your time well.
Okay.
Yeah. And another thing is that you are taking more than, if it's not that you're taking more than you can do, but you need to plan your time well. And like I said, get a to-do list. Yeah. And put your cards on your table and get the ones that prioritize, get the ones that needs to be done ASAP, and the ones that could extend. So you need to do these things, because at the end of the day, if you don't do these things, you stress yourself out.
Most people will break down. Most people
piles up, and then when you want to deliver everything, you find out that you're so stressed trying to fix it.
So a lot of things, then you find out that these things could have been done in a very easy and
stress-free way.
Do you understand? So that's why education is key. Training is key.
That's key.
Because in this world, we still find people who do the same, these things, the old-fashioned way, right? And we find, in fact, some people take up events, and you see that they've planned every step, everything has been planned. How did they do that? And some people will plan a party for 5, and they'll be stressed out.
Really?
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So how did these people do this? They have a template. They have you need to create things like
Educate
this.
yourself.
It helps you get better at what you do. It gives you less stress.
Okay. So,
but at some point, sorry to interrupt you, at some point you see that you have everything in place. You prioritize, you manage your time, but you still don't meet your deadline. You still don't hit your targets.
Now, if you don't do that, it's not that. Imagine if you did not do all of this.
Okay.
Probably if you don't meet your deadline, probably say like you were supposed to do something for 12, and you were doing like 12:31. Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming you did not plan at all, probably you'll be doing 4, 5, or the whole day or the
well,
next day.
we could talk extensively on this topic, but we'll have to take this discussion, till after the show. Now we need to talk about that. Okay. Thank you for coming on the show, Ibuku Solomon. It's been educated having you. To enjoy more interesting episodes of Tea or Coffee, then like and subscribe.